Okay guys, so we had this product actually sent to us to review and test out, and I'm kind of excited about this because I've actually needed something like this in the past. If you are an electrician and you do large scale jobs where you actually have to do a lot of wiring and stuff like that, this is probably a tool you are going to want to look at. This is a professional wire stripper. Look at this. And that is pretty awesome right there. Let's get this stuff up and moving. Get out of the way. Comes with a hand crank on it. So pretty much you can do pretty much any size wire all the way up to whatever this gap is right here between the rollers. Looks like on the back about 1.25 inches in width for a cable. So that's a pretty good size cable. So let's put this box off to the side. Well, there's some more stuff in here. Okay, here's the rest of it. So we're going to go actually through this little device real quick, and I'm going to actually show it to you, how it's meant to be used and so on. Now, these are your different wire guides that it comes with. So basically what you're going to do is you can put your different wire guides on, and they bolt in right here on the back side, right here. So you can actually see this. Let's tilt that camera down just a little bit more so you can see this. So basically where you're going to put your wire guides is where this one's at right here. It comes with an Allen wrench. This one actually has 2 different size wires in it, so you can use it. So you break this loose, and then you break this one loose, and then you pretty much adjust the wire guide up to where you need it at. Come on, let's get up there a little bit more off of this. Oh, it's got little pins in it to hold it in place. So we adjust our wire guide up where we need it. Let's say we're going to be using this small wire right here. So you put it in place where you want it, and then you're going to take and insert your wire, and I will actually demo a piece here in just a second. You're going to insert your wire into that hole and then into where the crank rollers are, and that's this section right here. And then you're going to adjust the actual blade down. And this is your blade. As you can see, it's right there, and it is a very, very sharp blade. You're going to adjust that down just enough to where it's going to cut the insulation on the wire and expose the copper or the 3 wires that may be on the inside. Now this device is meant to be bolted down to a stationary work table or something, which is why it's got the 4 holes here in the bottom. They do provide you with 4 sets of bolts and nuts and washers, so you can bolt this down to a table or a work surface. And the reason for that is if you're going to be running cable through it and you've got this hand crank over here to the side, you want this hand crank to be able to hang off somewhere. Let me show you. So we've got your hand crank. Put it on the flat. So you'll want your hand crank to be able to be off the side so you can physically run the wire through. This is not an automatic feed. This is a hand crank. And let me pull this off so I can show you the inside of those. If y'all look at the inside here, you see the little gears on the inside, right? Oh, this is a better view of it. Okay, see the little gear right there that's turning? They've got little teeth on it, and that's actually what's going to grip the insulation and run it through the blade, so the blade will cut the insulation. So like I said, this comes with several wire guides. You've got this wire guide that's got several different sizes on it, and I believe from the wire guides they only suggest going up to 1-inch diameter cable, so which is perfectly fine. 1-inch diameter cable is quite manageable to do with this little unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a piece of material or a piece of wiring, and then I'm going to actually run it in and show you exactly how it cuts the insulation. Okay, so for the purposes of this demonstration, I've got an old wire here that's got a ground fault, so it's a 3 wire, and we're going to be running it through. I've already put in the proper plate where it needs to go. We're going to be running through this middle hole. and I've got everything set up, ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first put this in, and I'm going to take and rotate my wires to where they are just where the blade is actually going to fall between the three. And now, as you can see, I'm going to start hand cranking it, and you see how it's feeding it through automatically. And there goes the cable. So now I can take and lift this up if I need to. And I can pull my wire out, since we don't need to actually split it all the way down. And now we can actually see right here, we didn't want to cut all the way through, so that way we didn't actually hit the insulation on everything else, but it was enough of a cut to provide us a way to actually peel back the kind of see how it just kind of comes apart at this point right here. This line, you can see it on there. Okay, so now we'll be able to peel the insulation back and see how it cut it. And you can see the cut line all the way down there where it cut it. And it freed up these three wires to where now we can actually work with them, expose the copper that's on the inside of it, and be ready to wire it up to, let's say, another receptacle, a plug, or even a mechanical device or some sort of electrical device that needs a ground fault plug. So yeah, does this thing work? Absolutely. This is a great little unit. And like I said, this is perfect if you are an electrician that is needing to do a lot of stripping on wires safely without cutting through insulation on other types of wires. So is this a product that I would recommend? Absolutely.